Can you kind of, what was the turning point in your motorcycle racing career? Like, when did you know, like, I'm good at this and this is what I need to be doing?
That first race I raced, the outlaw race, the reason I was good on that dirt track with that bike, I think, I always played around with that motorcycle on the hills around north of Detroit, and I was always playing around with that motorcycle and handling it very well, and I never had no problems with it, and I think that's what really educated me to race a motorcycle.
And then when I was doing some research, every time I'd read a different article, there was a story about Joe Leonard, how you taught him how to race. Can you kind of tell me that story and expand on it?
Well, I've been racing for Harley Davidson for a couple of years, and they wanted me to go out to California and race on a mile dirt track because they was being beat by BSA and Norton, and I can't remember another one, AJS. They were having so much trouble of winning a race. So I go out there with, Walter Davidson went with me, and I was at the Harley dealer there in, I can't remember the little town south of San Francisco where Joe Leonard lived. And this race was within about 10 miles of where he lived. And so I get I'm on the track practicing, and I'm running pretty fast. And this here Harley dealer came to me and wanted to know if I would lead Joe Leonard around the racetrack. Well, he was amateur and I was expert at this time. And show him how I was getting around the racetrack. I said, well, I don't mind, but you have to get an okay from the promoter of the race, you know, and the AMA. So he did, and Joe and I went out on the racetrack. It was a mile dirt track, and he followed me around that track. And I think that's what really got him going, because right after that, he was moved into the expert class. And he started winning an awful lot of races. And that was through Harley Davidson, and I sort of helped him get started. And later, a couple of years later, I'm driving cars and I'm just quitting motorcycles. And he comes along again, and I introduced him to a few people and got him in a stock car. And he started racing stock cars then a little bit. And pretty soon I went to Indianapolis, and I started racing there. And he followed me down to Indy, and I introduced him to a couple people there, and he got a ride at Indianapolis then.